Hey, this is Jesse with Create This. Today we are going to be reviewing the Greenworks Pro 80 volt cordless string trimmer, weed eater, if you prefer to call them that. And we're also going to compare it with the gas equivalent. And in this case, it is the Stihl FS110R. And the CCs for the Stihl are actually in the equivalency range. This is a 31.4 cc engine. According to the product page for the 16-inch Greenworks Pro string trimmer, it is a 32 cc gas equivalent. So the string trimmer, the Stihl gas string trimmer is maybe a little underpowered according to the spec, but I mean, they're equivalent. They're very similar engines, except one is electric and one is gas. All right, so let's go ahead and measure these. I've just got like a dumbbell, 15-pound dumbbell that I'm going to use as sort of a calibration weight to make sure the scale is sane. So that's coming in at 15.4 pounds. I think we should probably only expect like pound level accuracy from this. I don't think we should worry about the 0.2s and 0.4s and things like that. All right, and so the Stihl gas trimmer, 14.2 pounds. I don't think this crane scale is super accurate at these weights, but it should get us at least in the ballpark. And the battery-powered one is 14.4 pounds. So they're roughly equivalent. The battery-powered one may be a little bit heavier or a little bit lighter. I'm not really sure because I don't think the accuracy of this crane scale is capable of detecting it. But they're about the equivalent weights. All right, so one of the largest differences between the gas and the electric string trimmers is that with the gas, obviously you have to have pull cord to get it started. You know, for old people or for younger people or for smaller people, it can be harder to use a pull cord than a push button start for the electrics. So I've already started this once, but let's just see how difficult this is to start. I've primed it, I've put the choke on, I got it running once, and just so that my rear is not facing towards the camera, I've turned things around. Let's see here. All right, and mine is perhaps not tuned properly because it is dying immediately afterward. Take like 76. So I've just spent about an hour and a half to 2 hours tuning the carb on the Stihl gas string trimmer to get it to idle properly. I'm not exactly sure what was wrong with it. I think maybe there was something in the throttle body intake, because I think what did it, I'm actually not sure. I did a lot of stuff. I took off the idle limiter screws. I did all kinds of stuff. Reset everything back to factory defaults as far as I could tell. And I sprayed some throttle body cleaner into the air intake. So, as a great example of the crap that you have to do to gas engines that you don't have to do to electric engines, there you go. You might spend hours sometimes tuning these things to get them working properly when they fall out of adjustment. So I'm not an expert. I'm not going to say that this is the perfect tune, but it at least appears to be idling for me now. One of the things about a gas trimmer is that when it idles, the clutch should not engage, so the head should not spin when it's idling. I think I've got that set up properly. So let's give this a try and see the difference between starting up the gas versus the electric. So to start up the gas, we're going to put it on the start position. It's already warm, so I don't need to choke it, but normally you would choke it. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of gas and I'm going to pull the pull cord. It does not always start on the first pull like that, but I got lucky. So possibly a good tune, I don't know. Now, let's see how fast Let's see how fast it spins up from idle. So I'm gonna press the trigger and then I'm gonna start counting, and when it gets to full speed, I'll stop counting. 1, 2, 3. So about 3 seconds. 1, 2, maybe 2. 1, 2, maybe 2 seconds to spin up from idle. So pretty good. All right, let's turn that off. Now let's go to the electric here. Again, we've got gas in the Stihl string trimmer. We got a battery in the electric, fully charged. There's no pull cord. All you do is hold the safety down and pull the trigger. As long as you have that battery installed, it's armed and it's always live. This is your only safety. So let's do the same test. I'll press the trigger and I'll start counting and we'll see how long it takes to spin up. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this one takes about a second longer than the Stihl sting trimmer to spin up from idle to full speed. 1, 2, 3. That's not terrible. They both have variable speed throttles, so I can press this just slightly and have it go a little slower. Or I can hold it all the way down. Or anywhere in between. I think that they've made lots of different models of this over the years, and I think some of the models just had a momentary switch. They didn't have a variable speed trigger, but this one does have the variable speed trigger. So if you want to go from one section to the other section without that lag, you can try modulating the speed rather than completely shutting off the head. So that might be useful, but I don't hate it. I like it. And the kids love using this thing. It's super easy to use. You don't have any of the tuning issues that you have with the gas one. If something breaks, it's probably going to break so bad that nothing works at all. So whether you view that as a positive or a negative, I don't know. All right, I have a little patch of grass here, so I thought I would take some time to show how the bump head works and also how it trims. It is nice and quiet. It's not super quiet, but it's quieter than the gas one for sure. Let's show the bump head. Works just like a gas-powered one. I didn't notice any power problems. I never notice any power problems. It seems to have the same amount of power as the gas one. Let's try the Stihl next. The head does spin in the same direction. The gas one is quite a bit louder. I don't know, I almost feel like the electric is more powerful. Let's try the electric again. As you can see, I've got some wonderful kudzu. That's great. And often it gets wrapped around the head, but it does this for the gas model too. Kudzu's a pain. Interestingly, I've read that kudzu is edible, and I've also read that it can cause liver damage, I think. So I'm not sure which one it is. Is it edible or is it poisonous? Oh, I lost my line. Okay, so my partner's son, wound the head on the electric trimmer last time, and there's a good chance that he didn't do it right. He has trouble with that. So before you work on the head, anytime you do this, since it is a electric, you want to pop the battery out just to give yourself an extra safety margin so you don't accidentally engage the head. And then I'm going to take off the kudzu that's wrapped around here. It's not bad. All right. I believe this is an attachment head. It says attachment capable, but I don't have any of those attachments. Sorry. I don't use those. And then to remove the head, it's just like the Stihl head. You just push, I believe, on these little tabs. And it pops right off. And I'm just out of line. That's all it is. So I guess I'll show you how to wind the head. Why not? Okay, I freely admit that I am a little confused by this trimmer head. It does not wind like the Stihl head that I'm used to, so I had to get out the user manual. You can download this as a PDF, or it comes with the unit. And it says, installing string and string head. Line up the slots in the spool cap with slots on the string head. This is the spool cap. Insert line through the string head hole. String head hole is there. Push line until it exits the opposite string head hole. Pull the line through until there is an equal amount of line on each side. Turn the spool cap clockwise to begin winding the string into the string head. Leave approximately 5 inches of string protruding out of each side of the head. I kind of hate that. I have to admit. That's kind of a terrible design. So here's what they're talking about. So it has this through slot here in the cap, which is not at all the way my Stihl head winds. And what they want you to do is they want you to put that in like so. And actually, I don't know if they want this on at the same time. They probably do. So, like this. Okay. So they want you to line it up. Get our line in there. Okay. Now here's the problem. It's probably pretty hard to know how much line you need, right? Like how much line is this head going to hold? I don't know. And that's what I don't like about this. But they just want an equal amount of line. So we're going to take our line here and we're going to get an equal amount on the other side. You probably can't see this, but I'm just matching it up on the other side, and then I'm going to cut it. All right. Seems like this is a great way to introduce waste. So you've got your line on both sides now, and they're both free hanging, they're both cut. And now you're going to turn the spool cap clockwise to begin winding the string into the string head. Leave approximately 5 inches of string protruding out of each side of the head. Clockwise it is. All right. And so I left a little too much on this one side, so I can just cut that off, I guess. And there you go. Now your cap is wound. Okay, after you've got your line rewound, you take your battery, slide it back in until it clicks, push the button, still 3 bars, still fully charged, and you're ready to mow. All right, looks like my lav mic just ran out of power, so lost the last part of the speech there. Anyway, so yes, the winding of the head is a little weird for this string trimmer, but I think if you could figure out how much string fits in that head and then measure it out, then you could just measure it every time, cut it, and have, you know, wind it up, and you'd have just the right amount in there. I'm not sure what that number is. You know, if you know, let me know down below the video in the description. That'd be great to know. Other than that, I think it's a great string trimmer. I like it. I'm using 2 amp hour batteries in it. You can put the 4 amp hour batteries in, they're heavier. I don't know why you'd want to do that. The 2 amp hour battery seems to last as long as I need it to. I have 2 of them because I've got the 80 volt chainsaw as well, so I use them in that. But I never go through more than 1 battery. So I suppose if you were really doing some heavy trimming, you might, but I don't. It is an expensive system. That might be a consideration for you, but if you believe that we should, you know, be all kind of moving towards electrics, or if you just want something that's easier to use, then I think it's probably worth the price. So I have links to all of this stuff down below the video in the description, the batteries, the string trimmer itself. Feel free to check that out. As always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.